What's up, guys? UKTransit here. Today I am in Embankment with my friend James. Say hello, James.
Hello.
And today we're going to be riding the Londoner Buses Tour of London, and it's a open top bus, which is really cool. Anything else to add? You excited, James?
Yes.
Let's get into it. So this is the downstairs area on this route master. Driver sits there, window is there, open and close. Conductor can talk to the driver if needed. You've got a heat finny there. You've got James just there. You've got a very wet bus as it is raining. We definitely chose the right day to do this. Great British weather, and the Great British T-Bus is just over there. What do you think about this bus?
Old.
Old, yes, it is old. Hello, so we're going to be leaving this bus stop in about 10 minutes time. What did you want to say, James?
We're very excited for the bus tour.
And we go through a lot of very iconic places in London as well.
The tour should take roughly 1 hour and 30 minutes.
However, sometimes there is traffic in London, so this could be a little bit shorter or a little bit more.
Right, guys, so can everybody hear me right downstairs? Yeah! Right, everybody upstairs, can you all hear?
Yes!
Enthusiasm, I love it. Right, guys, so welcome to our Londoner bus. My name is Johnny. I'm going to be your guide this afternoon. So good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. And also we have our magnificent driver, Paul. So say hello to Paul, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, Paul.
Hello, Paul. And we're also here on this magnificent bus right here. Now, this bus here actually recently just celebrated its 62nd birthday. And its name is Wesley. So say hello to Wesley.
Hello, Wesley.
Hello, Wesley. And for the next hour and a half to 2 hours, we're going to be taking you around our capital city and showing these fantastic sights. But before we get going, my friends, a few things I do have to say before we get going. First things first, whilst on the tour, please remain seated. Okay, I don't want you guys standing up like it's a roller coaster. There's a lot of overhanging trees in this capital. I don't want you guys getting whacked in the face. It's alright if I do it, I'm ugly enough. But also, my friends, if you have any rubbish with you, like sandwich wrappers or coffee cups or cans or anything like that, can you please dispose of it in the bin downstairs, alright? Okay? Shut up. Am I joking? But please dispose it in the bin downstairs. I'm getting a little tongue-tied here. But otherwise, my friends, the most important rule I have to say is please no smoking on the tour. No smoking of any kind, no vapes, no cigarettes, nothing. And also no drinking any alcohol on this tour. Alright, yeah, there's 400 pubs in London, mate. I'm sure you can go to one of them afterwards. But y'all ready, yeah?
Yes!
Sacked! So any more words from a man way better than me? Little hand says it's time to rock and roll, so takes away, Paul! Wait for it. Safety first. And there we go. Yay, enthusiasm! Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's have fun. And let's start our tour today with actually one of the oldest objects in all of our capital. It's just here on our right-hand side, my friends. And this is Cleopatra's Needle here on your right, and that is 3,400 years old. That, yeah, my friends. But over here on your left-hand side is one of my personal favourite buildings in the capital, and this is called Somerset House. Now, Somerset House was designed by an amazing architect by the name of Sir William Chambers. You might know his work best from the Royal State Carriage. So if you know that golden state carriage that's in the coronation, the same man who designed this building designed that. But why do I love him so much? It's probably because I'm a direct descendant of the man, that's why. Yes, I am. My name is John Chambers. Yeah?
John Chambers.
John Chambers indeed. And at the end of the day, I've been a tour guide in this capital city for 22 years, my friends. I was born in London. Yeah? The same here. Big question I have to ask, is anybody here a fan of Harry Potter? Yeah. Well, just over here on your left-hand side is the Old Strand Tube Station. And right there is actually where they filmed some scenes for Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone in the first Harry Potter movie. But just ahead of you here, my friends, is the London School of Economics, and such notable people who've studied right in front of us here include John F. Kennedy, he studied here, Hillary Clinton studied here, David Attenborough studied here. You know, he just celebrated his 100th birthday. Happy birthday, B! But it's also worth pointing out that Angelina Jolie studied here. Sued the newspapers. It's also where Prince Harry sued the newspapers. Twice! Yeah. And you know they have school trips inside of there. That big black dragon is a boundary marker, and that means we're about to now exit the city of Westminster where we began this tour, and now venture into the oldest part of our capital, which is quite simply called the City of London. Now the city here is built on the site of the old Roman Londinium, and we might just see some Roman artifacts on our way, my friends. We started building this magnificent place of worship in 1675, and it was completed in 1710. It took him 35 years to build this, and he saw it until its very dying end. And he actually lived 13 years afterwards. In fact, he actually had a house just opposite, and he actually used to turn around to his friend and say, "See that place? I built it." Yeah, because he's a legend. It's 365 feet high, 1 foot for every day of the year. And it's built on the site of the old Roman Temple of Diana. And it's worth pointing out that this church is also the host of where a woman called Diana got married in 1981. Because this is where Prince Charles and Lady Diana got married. And it's still, to this day and age, the most viewed wedding in human history. I mean, let's just run down the facts. 4,200 people attended the ceremony in 1981 because Westminster Abbey couldn't house that many people. 6,000 people blocked the street right up here just to see them get married. One of those people was my mum. Yeah, my mum. Thanks for saying my mum. But you know how many people watched on TV, miss? 750 million people. We are talking 750 million people watched it in 1981, and that was 45 years ago. Think how many people have watched it since, making it the most viewed wedding in human history. Okay? Now, I'm going to get back to St. Paul's Cathedral in just a second, my friends, but just coming up on your right-hand side, in a second we have the Millennium Bridge. And it's one of London's solely pedestrian bridges over the River Thames. It opened 26 years ago, but when it first opened in 2000, 300,000 people walked over the bridge, and they shut it in 2 days. Now guys, as we're now just coming past St. Paul's, I'm going to go back to it for a second. So if you do look to the light behind you, look behind you, my friends. So I'm getting very tongue-tied today, what's wrong with me? But if you look up right here, my friends, so you've got the dome of St. Paul's Cathedral. And the dome itself is actually the second largest church dome in the whole of Europe, after St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican City. Well, the Sequester Wren or the pineapple was the international sign of hospitality. This part of our capital city isn't particularly big. It's only a square mile big. But there is 500,000 people work here from Monday to Friday. Yeah? And only 6,000 people actually live here. But the great thing about, even though there's billions and trillions of pounds that cross over this part of our capital city day in, day out, every year, it's still got some of the best free things to do in the capital. Okay? Now I know some of you guys might be thinking, oh, but this isn't where the Natural History Museum or the British Museum is, Johnny. No. I'm telling you about some other things, some things that have been here longer than that. Okay? Some things have actually been here for only about 5 years as well, but they're still free. And it's a great place, as you're visiting London, my friends, a great place for you to come and check out around here. Now, as we're going to get through the city in just a few moments. We've just got to get through the traffic lights, okay? Duly noted, there's a lot of traffic lights in London. You know how many in central London alone? 4,300. 4,300 traffic lights. Just to keep the speed limit down to 20 miles an hour. Now, I will point out, guys, as we're here in the city of London right now, you might just notice that you know you're here because of these, on your left, your red, white and black bollards. And that's the only place in London they have them. But here in the city, it's kind of its own principality around here, because this is actually ruled not necessarily by the king, but by one entity, and that is the Lord Mayor of London. But over here on your left hand side, guys, you'll see this massive skyscraper here on your left hand side, and it's 925 feet tall. And that, my friends, is called the Pinnacle, and it offers the highest free observation platform in the whole capital. And you could go up there today for free, my friends. Up there for free. All you'd have to do is go up to the building, which is at 22 Bishopsgate, scan a QR code, fill in a few details, and then you're up there. Bosh. And they've got a bosh indeed. It's still free for the public. That's the great thing about it. Made it higher. The thing is, that man saved London, as it is a Phoenix City. Christopher Wren is the guy responsible, and you asking me why I love him so much. That's because he's a bloody legend, that's why. I mean, there on your right, we just went past it, but there is the monument to the Great Fire of London, which is 202 feet high, 311 steps up to the top. But it's right next door, on your right hand side of Pudding Lane, where the Great Fire of London started, right near where Peninsula House is. That's where the Great Fire started.
I get that a lot of children, you know. There's like, oh look, there's a bricks there, man.
But up here on your left hand side, my friends, if you look up, there is one of the many new high-rises in our capital city, and there is the Walkie Talkie building. Or to give it its actual address, number 20 Fenchurch Street. Now, just at the top of that building is the Sky Garden. And the Sky Garden is free to go up there, if you book an advance for it. So now, just ahead of us here, my friends, we have this church with the green spire just coming up ahead of us. And that church is actually the oldest church in the city of London. And it's called All Hallows by the Tower. And it was consecrated in 675 AD. So that makes that church 1,351 years old. And it's absolutely free of charge to go inside of that church. And it's pretty awesome. I mean, if you go inside of there, my friends, the first thing you might notice is there's a big barrel hanging in the church. And you might, why is there a blooming barrel there? Well, that's much because that was the crow's nest on the ship of a guy called Ernest Shackleton. And Ernest Shackleton was one of the first explorers to ever navigate the Arctic Circle. Okay? And I've got all the love in the world for that man, mainly because he's from my neck of the woods. Yeah. But if you then decide to go downstairs of All Hallows by the Tower, you go into the real historical part of it, okay? Because the first thing you'll notice is you're walking on very different ground, and you're walking on Roman paving slabs, because it's built on the site of a Roman house, yeah? And you'll also see some Roman gravestones there, which are actually just looking after it, because the London Museum's closed at the moment. Soon enough, they'll move them back to the London Museum over in Smithfield Market. But they've also got a temple, or in fact a chapel, dedicated to Francis of Assisi, which is 1,100 years old. Great bit of Roman history, and I said it's a bit free as well. But we also like to call that church the Little American Church, because it's worth pointing out that John Quincy Adams, 6th President of the United States of America, was married in that church to a London girl. Yes. In fact, like her father was very insistent that he get married in that church because that was her parish church. So we had to go all the way from Virginia, all the way back here, just to marry the woman he loved and then go back to America. And there on your right hand side, guys, is the Tower of London. There it is, guys. So the tower, there, oh, check it out. But the Tower of London on your right hand side, guys, actually celebrates a very big birthday this year. It's 950 years old. Happy birthday to you. Thank you, mate. Somebody sings along. Point out, if you want to go to the tower today, guys, it is fantastic there, okay? I mean, it's nearly 1,000 years worth of history. It's got the crown jewels inside of there. It's got the Royal Armoury. It's got my favourite animals, the ravens, inside of there. Just opposite on your left-hand side is the Roman wall for 2,000 years, and you just touch that. See, there's tons of history, and it's all at your fingertips when it's concerning London, my friends. And that, my friends, is Tower Bridge. And I'm saying that very London. But Tower Bridge itself, my friends, well, a lot of people have asked me in all the years I've been guiding, it's like, Johnny, how old is the bridge? I mean, it's got to be like the same old age as the tower. It's got to be like hundreds of years old. And it's like, it's really not, actually. Do you remember the Royal Course of Justice earlier on? That it looked old, but it's only about 130 years old. Yeah? This is only 132 years old. Yeah? But it's designed that way to look like the Tower of London. It's designed by a great like architect by the name of Horace Jones. But this is the bridge that opens up in the middle. And it opens up the bare part of 800 times a year. 800 times a year. It's opened up a couple of times already today. Okay, just to let boats through. But when it opens up, it opens on the same mechanisms that it did back in 1894 when it first opened. Because the two drawbridges right there, guys, yeah, like they weigh 1,400 tons each. And when they want to open it, they have these antechambers underneath of it. It's what's called a cantilever system. And they flood the antechambers full of the Thames, and then it just lifts the bridge up. And then when they let the boats through, then as soon as the boats have all cleared it, they actually then just lower it again by sucking out all the water from the antechamber. So it could do that like at least like 10 times a day in under 6 minutes. That's quite impressive, isn't it? It's really quite impressive. I bet that little frigate is wanting to go through it in a minute. That's what you call that boat on your left hand side. That's called a frigate. There on your right hand side on the other side is called a battle cruiser. That's HMS Belfast. Oh dearie me. That's some ominous looking clouds there, my friends. We are bloody well going straight for it. No, they don't have sharks here, they have porpoises. But over here on your right hand side, my friends, we have the tallest building in all of Britain. Here on your right. And there is the Shard. It's 1,016 feet tall. Or 300 meters, my friends. And if you do want to go up there today, my friends, if you book online, it's £25. Yeah, or if you turn up on the gate, it's 40. But it's one of those places, if you go up in the really fast elevator that takes you up there, they advise you to hold your nose and hold your breath, because it goes up so fast. It goes 50 stories in 2 seconds, and it makes your ears pop. I didn't want to. I was too rock and roll to listen. So I ain't holding my breath, mate. I've got a magical little place called Crystal Palace. You ever heard of it? Mind your head. Double mind your head on this bit. And that's the last time. That is the last time you need to mind your head, guys. Now, over here on your left-hand side is London Bridge Station, and it's actually London's oldest railway station. It's been around for 190 years, since 1836. It's actually, I know it doesn't look very old, but it's actually because in 2018 they spent £500 million renovating the whole thing. And it's actually covered in solar panels, so it powers all the electricity inside there. Yeah, it's got 0 carbon emissions, my friend, 0 carbon emissions. With 0 toilets on its 19 platforms. I know. A little 18-year-old Johnny Chambers walked straight out of here and went to a job interview that would change his life. It's just over here on your left-hand side. Underneath the arches is where the London Dungeon used to be, over here on your left-hand side. There's a horror attraction. It's now owned by the London Eye. But it was over there on your left-hand side, guys, is where when I was 18 years of age, I first became a tour guide. That's where I became a tour guide 22 years ago, taking people on Jack the Ripper tours. Now, over here on your right-hand side is actually London Bridge itself. It's actually the newest London Bridge, because there's been a crossing over the Thames here for some 2,000 years. This bridge right here came about in 1972, because the bridge we had before that, which was the Victorian Bridge, we sold to an American guy called Robert McCulloch for $6 million. And that Victorian Bridge is now currently in Lake Havasu in Arizona. We've got Borough Market, which is arguably the most wonderful market in the whole capital. It's the best food market as far as I'm concerned. It's also, I will point out, the oldest food market in the capital, which dates back to 1014 AD. Yeah? I bet you there's still Vikings inside of there queuing to get paella. But I love this place, it's fantastic. You can even smell it. Oh, and it's open. Oh, that steak smell, love it.
You can actually smell it, guys, you can smell it.
Oh, the hot exchange is all done now, love it. But over here on your left-hand side, guys, is actually the site of the Roman barracks. So this is actually where the first Roman encampment was, over here on your left-hand side. But they won't build a Roman garden on that site like they have at Chester in the northwest of England, because Transport for London and the ground, and they're... I ain't going to say bad words. But over here on your right-hand side, guys, is there a road going on there, what? But over here on your right-hand side, guys, is Southwark Bridge, which is known as the loneliest bridge in London.
Hello, James.
It's about 100.
How are you finding this experience so far?
I will point out for £10
funny and
you'll get a
interesting.
seat.
Are you enjoying yourself?
Stand in the open air.
That's brilliant to hear.
This tour is generally so good. We are even passing the Tate Modern as well. Or the Tate Modern. Tate Modern, Tate Modern. I love going under bridges on this bus, it's very fun. The bridges look very cool.
Okay, guys.
And you're so close to the bridge, it's really cool.
Now, if this, and that still stands at this very day and age. I mean, if you look on your left and your right, here, my friends, you'll see that this building here is all slashed up one side. So you can actually still see St. Paul's Cathedral from Knight's Hill, which is one of the highest points in South London. Yeah? I mean, that building there on your right-hand side doesn't need... But then things started to change, around about sort of like the mid-90s. And that's when they really started gentrifying and regenerating the South Bank, just over here on your right-hand side, my friends. So that's when they started building all these modern buildings and everything like that. That's why the South Bank is actually quite a prominent place for people to hang out, like whether it be for the galleries and the cinemas and like restaurants, things like that. And the Channel Tunnel. This one doesn't, but still 93 million people went through it last year.
Waterloo Station.
Oh, I love Paddington Bear.
The London Eye.
Any of you guys been on it? I haven't. I've never been on it, no. There on your left-hand side was London's major maternity hospital. Most of Queen Victoria's children were born in that building there on your left, as was my daddy. But just ahead of you guys is Waterloo. You couldn't escape if you wanted to.
There we go.
Now, why the platforms are a quarter of a mile long, guys, is actually because of this big blue roof here, because that, there on your left hand side, is where the terminus of the Eurostar used to be. From 1994 to 2009, that is where the London to Paris line used to run from. But these days it's over in St Pancras in North London. Ding dong!
St Thomas's Hospital.
So ladies and gentlemen, just say hello. Hello. It is worth pointing out that there was apparently a second day of the King's State opening of Parliament this morning, a second day of it. And I never like going into politics, so I can only assume a certain thing might have happened. But needless to say, right in front of us here, guys, is the Houses of Parliament, and the most famous thing of that is the clock tower right here. And the clock tower's name is the Elizabeth Tower. Now, I know you expect me to call it by something else, but it's not called that. It's called the Elizabeth Tower. And in 2012, this tower was renamed after the longest reigning and greatest monarch that this country's ever had, ever will have, and is ever likely to have. And that is Queen Elizabeth II. But before that, what was it called? It was just called the Clock Tower. So where does the whole Big Ben thing come from, eh? Well, Big Ben is the name of the bell behind that clock face, and it's not the only bell up there. There's actually 4 other bells that surround the Great Bell of Westminster. They're called the chimes. They're the ones that ring out on the hour every 15, 30 and 45 minutes. So if you ever hear the tolls, yeah, like when it goes ding, 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 that's the chimes of Westminster, right? But when you hear the whole dong, that's Big Ben. But why do we call it that, eh? Well, I'll tell you why, because it's big. Yeah, it's like 13.5 tons big. And if you ever see a picture on Google and look up on the bell, it actually has a name imprint on it, and that's actually the name of the man who actually paid for the bell. His name was Benjamin Hall. So why is it called Big Ben? Because it's big, and it's got Ben written on it. We're a bit blatant in London. we ain't, like, we'll give it nicknames and everything like that, but we're pretty blatant. Now, I'll point out, ladies and gentlemen, that if you are looking to stick around in London till at least Saturday, then the Houses of Parliament are going to be open to the public. I didn't win. And now, guys, that's what's swinging around Parliament Square with all the Union flags flying, because they're not Union Jacks, they're Union flags. It's only a Union Jack when it's flown at sea. But just ahead of us here, guys, we do have the highest church in the land, and that is Westminster Abbey. Now, Westminster Abbey is open to the public. If you do want to go around there, guys, the last admittance is at 3 o'clock today. But that is where the King got coronated 3 years ago, just there on your left-hand side. It's also where William and Kate got married back 15 years ago. Where did the time go, eh? Now, you can usually tell the Prime Minister's in. There's 6 armed police officers behind the gate. It certainly looks like there might be. So it is worth pointing out that sometimes if you do see the black doors shut right behind there, that's because they are getting ready next month for Trooping the Colour. Now, the gates aren't shut at the moment. As you can see, people are cycling through there. See that plonker just riding a bike in front of the horse? What a maroon. But they are getting ready for a Troop in the Colour, which is next month, which is what's considered the King's official birthday. That figurehead, alright, Lord Admiral Horatio Nelson, who was the great naval hero during the Napoleonic Wars. And he was killed at the Battle of Trafalgar, what the square's named after. And the square itself, you know, laid out round about the same width as HMS Victory, and blinking to miss it. But if you do want to go and have a walk down there, my friends, from Trafalgar Square, they're just over here on your left where Spring Gardens is. Walk straight down there, you are on the Mall. And that is where, if you walk straight up the road, you'll find yourself at Buckhouse.
That's been here for 2 weeks and it's Banksy.
Oh, that's the Chinook. Now that's Prince William. That's definitely Prince William. He likes going around in a Chinook.
We think that's Prince William in the Chinook over there.
That's what they always say about London. It's like every season in 15 minutes. But if you look here on your left-hand side, you've got the National Gallery, which is the oldest free art gallery in the capital. Here we go. But now, my friends, as we're just coming up very nearly to the end of the road right now, we're very much coming up towards the end of this afternoon's tour. So guys, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure to take you guys around. Now, wherever you guys want to go from here, we can point you in the right direction. Whether you want to get something to eat, get something to drink, or just simply have a little bit more of an explore. I'll just let you guys know that we do accept tips here on the tour, but accept them in 2 different ways. We accept them in good cold hard cash, and in any currency is fine, but also in digital tips. So if you don't have any cash, we can accept digital tips as well, and everything is split between myself and the driver. If you did enjoy the tour, my name is Johnny and our driver's name is Paul. But if you didn't like it, my name is Ricky and his name's Colin. If you do have any luggage with you guys, I'll make sure getting off the bus, okay?
Our tour has came to an end. We're back here at Embankment. What did you think, James?
Very good.
It's very slippery. Johnny, fire up that card machine, please. James, what did you think?
It's very funny and informative. So
Yeah,
very good tour.
The guide,
Yeah.
the tour guide was really good, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
One of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah. Johnny's really good. Yeah, this is UKTransit signing off from Embankment. 1 foot on there, and both hands on there. Both hands on there, and then jump in. Hello, James. We got a red light, so everything is safe. What do you think of the cab? Not the right way of doing it, but that's fine. Make sure you don't get run over. How did you find the cab? What did you think of it?
Very spacious and very cool.
It is a cool cab. I've been in it multiple times.